I want that old demo, Lee. I have it somewhere. We should digitize that.
Which one?
Girl, I know you're lonely.
Girl, I know you're lonely.
And that you only needed a friend.
Yale Brothers, episode 39.
Brown-eyed boy, don't look away. Don't hide your face. Why are you afraid of yourself? Where's your mother? Where's your father? Where you going? Can I help you? You, please don't cry. Let's play together, you'll be alright. I'll be your brother. Brown-eyed boy, someday you're going to be a man. Take a stand, and you may be all alone. Don't be afraid to lend a helping hand as you show your pride that can dwell inside. Whoa, whoa. Where's your mother? Where's your father? Where you going? Can I help you? You, please don't cry. Let's play together, you'll be alright. I'll be your brother, brown-eyed boy. Where's your mother? Where's your father? Where you going? Can I help you? You, please don't cry. Let's play together, you'll be alright. I'll be your brother, brown-eyed boy. Brown-eyed boy. Brown-eyed boy.
Hey, everybody, what is going on?
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, man, we have a good one today.
I'm Roger.
My name is Chris.
Is that your name?
Clearly, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We're the Yale Brothers. Thank you for being back. We're happy to be back.
Yeah, welcome back.
What you just heard was a song called Brown-Eyed Boy by our dear friend Lee Newman. And Lee is actually the perfect example of why we started this podcast in the first place. Right?
Yeah.
To reconnect with friends and talk about growing up in Hollywood in that magical area of the late 70s, early 80s. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine it without Lee in it that back then?
No way. No, that's our part of our life, man.
It is, man. So we spoke to Lee briefly just a second ago, but we purposely didn't communicate. We kept it to a minimum after contacting him for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
To keep this reunion as organic as possible.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, great, man. Yeah.
Seriously, man, what a big part of our lives he was.
Absolutely.
And is now that he's here. But
hell yeah.
We can't wait to have him on. But first, I want to read from Lee's bio.
Hey, why don't you just go ahead and read from Lee's bio?
You want me to read from Lee's bio?
Why don't you do that?
Okay, here we go. Lee Newman, singer, songwriter, and guitarist, comes from a legendary musical family that includes popular composer Jimmy McHugh and comedian Eddie Cantor. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Lee grew up in Hollywood, California. He went to Hollywood High School and then graduated from UCLA. Lee moved to New York City and studied at the Michael Chekhov Studio with Academy Award-winning actress Beatrice Straight. 3 years later, Lee came back to Los Angeles and worked with his mentor, Harry Nilsson, let that sink in, when Lee was cast to play the role of Oblio in the LA stage production of Harry Nilsson's musical, The Point. Lee's first album, the critically acclaimed Relatively Singing on Original Cast Records, is a tribute to his celebrated musical family. His version of I Can't Give You Anything But Love can be heard in the motion picture Wilbur Falls starring Danny Aiello. The album also includes the Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny TV cartoon theme song, Merrily We Roll Along, written by Eddie Cantor with the original words. Wow.
Oh, man.
Lee's second album on SLK Records.
Nice.
Lee Newman, Happy Together, the 60s Songbook, is a collection of classic pop songs from the 1960s and was released in 2004 and was produced by Grammy-nominated producer Lauren Wilde. Lee's version of Happy Together was used in the Maeva Resorts TV commercial campaign. Lee has performed in and around LA, including the Roxy, the Whiskey A Go-Go, and Doug Weston's The Troubadour. Oh, my God.
Heck yeah.
He made his theatrical debut at the age of 7 in the MGM motion picture Every Little Crook and Nanny, starring Victor Mature. Lee has appeared on episodes of Diagnosis Murder with Dick Van Dyke, USA High, and the motion picture Starry Night with Sally Kirkland. Lee is a voting member of the Grammy Awards. Not only is Lee a voting member of the Grammy Awards, but he's also a dear friend, and the friendships never die. We're happy to have him. Imagine that. We got Lee Newman here
so
with us.
So excited, man. It's been a while. Yeah.
Lee, it's so good to have you. Hello.
Wow, you guys sound exactly the same from 40 years ago.
Oh my God, so do you, man. So do you. It's like we haven't missed a beat.
I think we might have.
Amazing. Yeah, we haven't missed a beat.
I think we might have blinked somewhere, though.
Yeah.
It's so great. We're so excited to have you. I guess before we start,
I've got to tell you honestly, I think about you guys all the time, even though years go by and we're not in contact and haven't really heard from each other. But I do think of you guys all the time, and the times we spent together in the late '80s and in the late '70s and the early '80s.
Yeah,
what were we like?
Totally, man. I think of you all the time too, brother.
Likewise, think and talk about you. In fact, we've talked about you several times in the course of this podcast, and I want to get to that. But I want to ask you, tell us a bit about Brown Eyed Boy. That got to me a little bit.
Yeah, Brown Eyed Boy was a song I wrote in the mid '80s or late '80s. And I wrote it while I was at UCLA. After UCLA, after I graduated from UCLA, I moved to New York City. And I ended up living and staying in New York for about 3 years.
Yes, I remember getting letters. We corresponded at that era.
Yes. And then I came back to L.A. to work with Harry Nilsson in the show The Point. And he was a big, huge influence on me.
That musically. I know, man. That I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got into Harry at I discovered him or his music at the age of 4 years old when my mom was working on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
Oh. Yeah.
In the late 60s, and we used to hang out at Dick Martin's house up on Blue Jay Way.
Oh, Blue Jay Way.
Above Doheny.
Yeah.
And Dick's golf partner was Bill Bixby, who was about to do the show The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Heck yeah.
Oh, my God.
And Bixby gave Dick Martin 2 Harry Nilsson albums and said, listen to this guy because we're thinking of having him write and sing the theme song to the show, which Harry Nilsson did. The song went, People let me tell you about my best friend.
Yes,
He's a one boy, my cuddler toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. Anyway, you remember.
Hell yeah.
But you got,
anyway,
sure.
Dick played those albums nonstop at his house, and I was up there a lot those days, so I got hooked. And Dick gave me those albums. I still have them to this day.
God, it's amazing, dude.
When I worked with Harry Nilsson on The Point in 1991,
wow.
I brought the albums to the theater one day, and I said, Harry, I've had these 2 albums of yours since I was 4 years old. They were given to me by Dick Martin. I have to have you sign them. They were given to me by Dick Martin. He signs them to Lee through Dick.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Seriously.
Love, man. Harry.
Oh, what a treasure, man. Come on.
But anyway, I'm sorry. The original question, I know, was to talk to us about Brown Eyed Boy.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Anyway, it was just a song that I wrote during my days at UCLA, and I ended up doing an album in 1993-94 called Relatively Singing in New York for a label called Original Cast Records. And basically the idea was Relatively Singing. I was doing songs of the family. I was doing Eddie Cantor songs. I was doing Jimmy McHugh songs. And I was doing a few of my originals. But also at that time, before I went to New York to do the album, from 1990 to 2005, I was playing consistently in the clubs. I was playing the Roxy and the Whisky, and
nice.
and this went on for about 15 years. So I was playing consistently, And then went to New York in the early 90s and did this album of the family songs. One of the interesting songs on the album, of course, is a song that people really don't know or are not familiar with the history of it. There's a song that's played every second of the day somewhere around the world.
Oh, my God.
And it's not Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
The song that's played every day somewhere around the world, every second goes... It's the Bugs Bunny theme song, the Warner Brothers cartoon theme song. Well, Eddie Cantor wrote it.
That's unbelievable.
Oh,
I know, right?
I didn't know
Unbelievable.
that.
And people think I'm a millionaire because of that song.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's why my wife married me.
Yeah.
Yes.
No doubt, dude.
Yes.
But let me just say this: far from being a millionaire.
Okay.
That is amazing.
But anyway, Eddie Cantor wrote that song for his radio show. Warner Brothers picked it up and has used it for the last, 80, 90 years as the theme song.
Perpetual and
Bunny
iconic.
Looney Tune cartoons. But he wrote it with words. And it had never been done before with the original lyric until my album. I'll give you a taste of it. It would go, the chorus would go, merrily we roll along, my honey and me. Verily there's no one quite as happy as we. Though we're twice as poor as might say, what do we care as we merrily roll along? But that's all, folks.
I mean, the question has to be begged. Like, you grew up with this, so it didn't really trip you out.
Did
No.
it?
It didn't trip you out. It was normal.
Family's family.
It was your
dude.
normal.
Yeah. I grew up with these songs. I grew up with a lot of Broadway.
Sure.
I was thinking about it. The first movie I saw was a movie musical. I don't know, maybe you guys remember this theater. It was called The Beverly, and it was on Beverly Drive and Wilshire. And the first movie I saw was Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah, I do remember. I know that theater.
We saw that.
And, so that was all a big influence on me when I was growing up. And, Fiddler on the Roof, that was, huge.
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
Yes.
I get you.
So I had a taste of that, of Broadway and the standards. But I do have to say that after hearing Harry Nilsson, that was a huge, huge influence on me. I mean, he was just such a great singer and songwriter. In fact, there's a fabulous documentary, if you haven't seen it, called Who is Harry Nilsson and Why is Everybody Talking About Him?
Oh,
I think I saw it.
I haven't. I'd be happy to see it. I'd love to.
Yeah, it just covers his career and his first hits, of course, were Everybody's Talking at Me from Midnight Cowboy.
Sure.
He wrote One is the Loneliest Number for Three Dog Night.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had the hit before Mariah Carey saying "I Can't Live If Living Is Without You."
Oh, that song makes me cry. His version makes me cry.
He wrote and sang "Put the Lime in the Coconut."
Oh yes, of course.
And at a press conference for the Beatles Apple Records, the Beatles were asked, "Who's your favorite singer?" And both John and Paul said Harry Nilsson.
Just like that, huh?
Yeah, but the thing that held Harry back from being a major pop star like an Elton John or a James Taylor, that kind of being recognized that way, was he never performed live. He had stage fright.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
He had insecurities.
Oh,
So it was a great opportunity for me to work with him in 1991
Sure.
when we did The Point, and the show ran in L.A. for 6 months. Now, for L.A., that's a long run.
Hell yeah. Man.
LA still is really not a theater town, but we got great press, including Time Magazine and CNN.
Oh, wow.
And then, sadly enough, 3 years later, I saw Harry at Bill Bixby's funeral. This was December of 1993.
Yeah.
Bill Bixby had died, and the service was at the Bel Air Hotel. And sure enough, Harry walks in, and I saw him, and I said, "How are you doing?" And he says, "I'm a bankrupt tenor." I said, "What do you mean?" His business manager had stolen all his money.
Oh, for crying
Wiped him out.
Damn,
and,
dude.
sickening.
I said, "So where?" Oh, wow. I said, "Well, where are you living these days?" And he says, "I'm living in Hidden Hills." And I said, "Hidden Hills?" I said, "Where is that?" He said, "It's a secret." It's actually near Calabasas.
Okay.
But he had 7 kids. He was living in a house in Calabasas that his best friend Ringo had bought for him.
Wow. Yeah.
And so anyway, so this is December of 93. 2 weeks later, we're now in January of 94. Jimmy Webb, another friend of Harry's, is playing the Roxy.
Hell yeah.
So Harry gets in his car. He leaves Hidden Hills. He's heading to the Roxy. He doesn't feel well. He turns around. He goes home, and he died in his sleep.
Oh, my God, man.
And Harry was only like 52.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That puts it in perspective, man.
Was he sweet?
Right?
Was he kind to
but
you?
what's interesting is his catalog. I mean, his songs are all over the place right now in movies, television, commercials. In fact, there's a film right now called Venom 2.
Yeah.
That's coming out, I guess. There's a trailer, and they're playing, and it's Harry's master of Harry singing "One Is the Loneliest Number."
Oh, wow.
Oh God, I love that song.
Oh, so man,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So it's now the royalties are rolling and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he's got a sweet family. They're friends of mine, but it's very, very, very unfortunate. It was a great loss and such a great talent. But people are discovering him, and that's why these things are wonderful, like these documentaries, and people are being introduced to his songs.
Yeah. So as long as I've known you, man, I've known you were preaching the gospel of Nilsson, man. I know.
I know.
And
You're
singing
right.
little
I know.
snippets, and yeah. I remember you.
I mean,
doing
I think back like with the days when I was going to Hollywood High School, and I was in, of course, I was in play production.
Hell yeah, I saw you in West Side Story, but that's another story.
Yeah.
West Side Story.
Yeah, let's back.
And, and then, but I remember I would always, like with other students in the class, I would always kind of introduce them to Harry Nilsson or sing songs in their ears.
Yeah, that's what I remember about
the times you and I went back and forth at coffee shops singing, just humming like incidental music from TV shows and making it like the other guests.
And do you remember the names of those coffee shops?
I remember, oh God, the Copper Penny did we go to?
We went to that, but
Snow
didn't
White.
we also go to a coffee shop called Snow White?
Snow White's
coffee shop on Hollywood Boulevard. Oh my God.
Yeah, and didn't we go to a coffee shop called Bell?
Bell Coffee Shop on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes.
That's
we weren't hanging out at Liverpool.
Right, and we would be there behind the bar. We called it Liverpool.
Yeah, come on, that's awesome. Let's back up and we have to put this to bed. Did we meet Pascal, whom we talked about? God rest his soul. But did we meet you after we met? I'm trying to figure out how we met.
I'm kind of
in those
blurry
days.
on
Do you know what? I thought we all met I knew Pascal before I knew you guys.
Yes.
And then Pascal and I came to
Did you come with him?
To meet you guys.
Did you come that first day?
I think so. And you had this. I remember the rehearsal studio downstairs.
Yeah.
In the garage.
Okay, so you came to the first kind of get together. He popped in. I was behind the desk of the hotel, and he comes in one day, and he says, "Hey, a friend of mine, I heard you were looking for a guitar player."
Wow.
So I met him that day, and then I guess you came with him soon afterwards.
Yeah,
man.
that's how I remember it.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
But
I seem to remember with you guys, it happened pretty fast.
It happened super fast, man.
Putting the band together and songs and doing gigs and
and so I'll tell you, man, that kid could play. He was so intuitive.
Yeah.
God
I know.
him. Oh,
Speaking of gigs, you got us the Gazzarri's gig.
You got us the Battle of the Bands at Gazzarri's.
That's right. I remember I got you into Gazzarri's, and I'll never forget because I remember I was calling and Bill Gazzarri, and then he personally called and he's like, "This is Bill Gazzarri, the godfather of rock and roll."
That's crazy, dude.
I want to put your band up on Battle of the Bands, which you won.
Yeah, we won. It was incredible, man. I'll never forget that.
Which you won. Yeah, that was a moment. What was that? Was that 1979, 1980?
It was probably 81. 81.
Well, Pascal died, I think, in 81.
Did he?
Didn't he?
Well, that's when we started recording
like
stuff.
1980, 81,
80,
something.
81.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's so wrong.
My gosh, man, what a moment that was, and how much fun. And you man, we were all so inseparable, and
we were. I mean,
your
we
enthusiasm.
were we did like everything together.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
your enthusiasm was very.
Not only
contagious.
that, you were my dad. You and my dad became close friends too,
Yeah,
which was
no,
awesome.
your dad and I, we would meet like early in the mornings and just talk showbiz and theater. Because I remember your dad was also a songwriter.
Yeah.
And he, with Roger, wrote some songs, and then I'll never forget that big blow-up photo of them with Laurel and Hardy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Lee.
Where is that, by the way?
I think either one of us. I think I have it in storage, but we have
In storage, yeah.
colorized versions.
Yeah,
of
I
that
have a
too, that we could
colorized
always
version
blow
of
up.
it, but yeah, and then there's an original signed one. Maybe Raj
Wow.
has.
Yeah.
Wow.
But wait, there's also the get-togethers at your house. We started coming over. Your dad and stepmom Leah were so gracious and always made us feel welcome.
They were
over
lovely.
there.
They
Yeah.
were lovely, man.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
And rolling down the street, I don't know if you remember this. What in your car, me and you, we were riding somewhere. This is
Here
so
we go.
incidental.
You guys are way off
This
my
is- this
talking
is
points.
so
I'm just going to give it up.
But we're going somewhere down Franklin Avenue, and My Sweet Lord comes on.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Really?
I remember that.
Oh man, and we're riffing on the Hallelujah. We're doing all kinds of stuff and just rolling around laughing.
Vishnu.
I'm glad you
Still
remember
think
that.
about that. We were kind of making up words.
Yeah, we were. It was so. I'll never.
I know,
Just
yeah.
so hilarious.
I
dude.
remember you always were enamored of the Beatles, and like I remember like we're in your, God, what was it, a B210 or some Datsun 210 back in the day?
Yeah, I had a Datsun. You're right. I had a Datsun 610.
610.
Yeah, I remember that car.
Maroon, and I was very impressed with it because it had a sunroof.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I remember
Luxury,
that car.
Luxury.
It's
man.
but it was Lee when you saw that car. Lee was there.
Yeah,
Lee was there.
no
That's
doubt.
awesome, brother. Singing like I'm a loser.
Yeah.
Not
Good time.
what I appear to
Hey
be.
man, did
All
you
those songs.
Did you meet Jimmy Webb?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Jimmy was, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with Jimmy and his songs, Wichita Lineman, by
I am.
the time I get to Phoenix,
Very much so.
Galveston. But, yeah, I got to know Jimmy a little bit, and he was very close with Harry Nilsson. In fact, the last time I saw him, I was at an event, and he was telling me, and he got teary. He says, there isn't a day that goes by when he doesn't think about Harry.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You know what? And I don't know the man, but as far from a songwriting perspective and all that he does and did, he's still alive, right?
Oh, yeah. He lives in New York.
Oh, that's cool. So he doesn't strike me as a guy that suffers fools. You know what I mean? As far,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, he wrote a book called Tunesmith.
I have it.
And I mean, it's very heavy music theory.
Yes, I have it.
And I mean, and he's written another book too about his life and the parties and the people and all that. But this one book called Tunesmith is where he kind of like looks at songs and chord progressions and melodies and
Yeah, he dives deep, man. I that was beyond me. I have the book, but I mean, a lot of the other stuff in it I loved, man.
yeah, for sure.
It's unbelievable, and I think this is a good time to ask you about your second album because
So then what happened was so from 1990 to 2005 I was just so busy just playing songs and just have the guitar with me all the time. God. And then what happened was in the late 90s, I don't know if you guys remember this. Maybe you do. Do you remember meeting Lucille Myers?
I do.
She ran Jimmy McHugh Music.
Oh, you took us to the office.
Yes, I took you to the office.
Chris
She was
remembers.
an older woman. Anyway, in the late 90s, she brought me into the office. It was in Beverly Hills at the time on Wilshire.
Yeah.
And she kind of told me that she wanted me to be the one to carry the torch and carry on promoting the Jimmy McHugh catalog, the songs.
Wow.
So this was like 1998, 1999.
Yeah,
so
man.
I started to go into the office. The reason why I think she wanted to hand it off to me is because I was a musician. I sang. I knew these songs. I knew the stories behind these songs.
Oh, God.
I threw these songs into my shows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I had a background, and sure enough, not long after she started to bring me in, she passed away.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
And this was in I think it was 1999. She passed away, and then that's when I started to take over and run the office, promoting the catalog. And then I had to move to a new location. So in the year 2000, I moved to 9229 Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the end of the Sunset Strip, right where it becomes Beverly Hills.
Got you. I saw
It's
that on your...
across the street from where the Hamburger Hamlet used to be.
Oh,
yeah.
Eat the
I know
sides.
I know exactly where you are.
And anyway, I've had this office there now for over 20 years.
Yeah.
God, Lee.
So you knew your stuff and all that, but you were kind of thrown into the deep end then, or
Yeah, so I just kind of like took that on.
Learn
and
by
that's
doing.
Really what I've been doing.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not as active with the music, like playing live.
Yeah.
I still get together with friends and we play, and but I still have the passion for it.
Sure.
But I'm also now running Jimmy McHugh Music. So what that entails is the promotion. Are you guys there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
We're enthralled,
It's,
dude.
the promotion of his songs, because his songs are still used in movies, TV shows, commercials. In fact, we just had one of his songs recently in a Kohl's television commercial
Oh, yeah.
that's been running, and we've got 3 of his songs in a show called Jersey Boys.
God
heck yeah,
almighty,
man.
dude.
Yeah, I Can't Give You Anything But Love is in that, and I'm in the mood. I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby is in that show, and I'm in the mood for love. In fact,
Damn.
we just got word that the show's going to reopen in New York in November.
Oh,
Oh,
such great
good.
news, man.
And it's been playing there now for like 16, 17 years in New York City.
Oh, no.
Lee, I have to say this. Most
Man, that is
people,
awesome,
Most
dude.
people would think that these songs that they don't know where they came from. They just happen to arrive in the American
Well, they're
songbook
part of their soundtrack,
by
you know?
osmosis. And here you are. Like this is such a rich history.
Here's an interesting story about I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby.
Come on.
It's like a Depression era song, late 20s. Jimmy McHugh is standing in front of Tiffany's jewelry shop on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay, in New York City. He sees this couple looking at the display window at all the diamonds and the jewelry. He overhears the guy turn to his girl and say something like, "I wish I could afford to buy you those things, but I can't.
Oh.
The only thing I can give you is my love."
There it is.
And then my grandfather immediately came up with the idea for I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby.
Seriously,
It's
man, what a
unbelievable.
perfect prompt for a song.
It's unbelievable.
Because he got hit. McHugh really got hit with the stock market crash.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
had success. He had written songs for the Cotton Club,
Oh, yeah.
and he wrote his first hits were songs like "When My Sugar Walks Down the Street." It went, "When my sugar walks down the street, all the little birdies go tweet, tweet, tweet."
Oh,
Peggy
yeah.
Lee ended up doing it.
Yeah, I know that song.
By the way, quick question while we're on Peggy Lee: who was Mark?
Mark Mulkeen was a friend of mine that I met at first at LACC. We were both music majors.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What happened to him?
Mark's around. We had him on very early on. He's still around. He lives now in, believe it or not, by coincidence, in Crestline, near Crestline, where you and I used to go see Auntie
I
Beth.
remember the house in Crestline.
Oh
yeah,
my
man.
God.
What was Uncle Roger's wife's name?
Beth.
Beth.
But
Yeah.
it's by coincidence he lives up there now.
Yeah,
What was Mark's connection with Peggy Lee?
He was a fanboy when he was
Super fan.
when he was a super fan when he was a little boy.
Yeah.
And he wrote her a fan letter back when he was like not even maybe 7 or 8, and
he worked for her.
And he worked for her.
He did,
in
yeah.
he worked in her little office at her house, and
Okay.
And
I met her through him.
friendly.
She was weird. She was very friendly. We were friendly, man. That was cool.
Listen to
Wow.
Listen to this. You might like this. So Chris is up there. I mean, Chris goes up there.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah. Check this out.
This was in Bel Air, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Bellagio Road.
We're riding around,
Yeah.
and for some reason, Mark was with me, and for some reason, he wanted to stop by our house. So
Right.
we get up there, knock on the door. In the foyer, the door opens, and there's this guy. He actually answers the door.
Yeah.
And then here comes Peggy. I mean, the guy looked familiar. I knew who he was, but I didn't want to say. She goes, "Oh, hi, Chris. Hi, Mark. Oh, this is my friend Tony. It was Tony Bennett, man."
Oh my God.
And I'm just, and when you're living in LA, I mean, you just kind of, you take this randomness in stride, but it's
Yeah.
like holy
How about-
shit, man.
How about this guy, The Encounters?
Oh no, incredible. I mean, you know what I'm talking
Unbelievable.
about, man. It's like, wow, this is
Oh,
happening.
God.
This
Wow.
is just happening.
Great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's that connection.
Well, that's why I just wanted to ask you that because I remember Mark, and I remember there was a connection to Peggy Lee,
Yeah.
and I couldn't quite figure it out and make it out, so I wanted to ask you that.
Oh yeah. That's what it was.
So anyway, so Jimmy McHugh's writing songs for the Cotton Club.
Yeah.
When My
Nice.
Sugar Walks Down the Street. I couldn't. I Can't Believe That You're in Love with Me, which was later a hit for Sinatra. So the stock market crash happened. He lost everything. He was wiped out.
Damn.
And he's walking along Riverside Drive one day on the Upper West Side of New York, and he bumps into his friend George Gershwin.
Oh God.
And Gershwin asked him how things were going, and McHugh said, "Not too well." He says, "I haven't got a quarter in my pocket." And Gershwin said, "Well, that shouldn't happen to you. Is there anything I can do to help?" And McHugh said, "Well, if you happen to have a piano lying around, I could use that."
Damn.
So the next week, Gershwin sent him a gray upright piano, which you guys saw when you
Yeah.
came to the office.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and the first song McHugh wrote on that piano was "I'm in the Mood for Love," and subsequently on the Sunny Side of the Street, exactly like you. But the first song he wrote on it was "I'm in the Mood for Love," and that changed everything.
No doubt.
God
Turned it
almighty.
right around. Thank God,
Only
man.
you, Lee. This is such a rich
What a-
tapestry.
you know, what a-
man.
what a-
And
what a
that,
story.
That piano's still a centerpiece in the office,
Yeah.
right?
Huh? Yes, that's right. And I still have it there. I mean, it's in the new office.
You should, man. So, what a story of resilience, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Golly, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So
And then so he would he'd written for a Broadway show called The Blackbirds of 1928, and Gershwin gave him the piano. Things started to turn around for him, and then he came out to Hollywood in 1930-31 because he started to write songs for the movie musicals.
right.
And he was under contract with MGM and started writing songs for Shirley Temple.
Hell yeah, that would be the
movies,
one, man.
That sort of thing. So that's what brought him out to L.A.
Oh my
It
God.
sounds like a good enough reason as any.
Right?
No shit.
It's
So then he started writing the songs for the movie musicals, and then also too, a lot of people don't know, he wrote the songs for Frank Sinatra's first movie. Frank Sinatra's first film was called Higher and Higher,
No.
and McHugh wrote the songs for that, which was songs like I Couldn't Sleep a Wink Last Night, A Lovely Way to Spend an Evening.
Oh
it's
man.
unbelievable.
So, and then you've got, also in the 40s, you've got the war years in World War II. He ended up writing a patriotic anthem, which was the number one song in the country, called Coming In on a Wing and a Prayer,
Okay. Yeah.
that
Man.
Bing Crosby recorded.
Amazing. What I mean, what a depth
So
of the
that
catalog.
kind of like that. There's your 40s. Then you go into the 50s, and then you've got the Rat Pack, Vegas, and then the 60s. He was very close with the Kennedys and the Kennedy family, and he wrote a song for Jackie Kennedy called "The First Lady Waltz." But then you know what changed for these kinds of songwriters of the Great American Songbook?
What would
The
that be?
Beatles.
It changed when the Beatles appeared.
Oh, I guess it did.
Come on, Leo.
I
Yeah,
guess it
dude.
did.
In
Man.
1964, that's when things kind of changed for these guys.
I
Who
guess.
are these guys?
Yeah, who are these mop tops?
Because they were writing their own songs.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas people like Jimmy McHugh and Cole Porter and Gershwin, I mean, all these guys would write songs for singers,
Sure. Oh man, that was kind of a sea change, eh?
and then for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. So then 5 years later, Jimmy McHugh would die.
Oh,
1969.
Wow.
Oh
man.
wow! What a
But I
life.
remember going to his house. He lived on a house. He lived on a street called Sierra, which is right a stone's throw away from the office, right off Sunset.
Okay.
Wow.
And he always had singers there. He was always promoting his songs.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
You know.
God.
So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of in the works with. I've got a project about his life for like a musical, a stage show.
Oh wow.
Good.
And then there's talk about a documentary. This is all in the early stages.
Okay,
You
well,
know,
sounds
these
like
things-
God. It's exciting, man.
These things sometimes take 30, 40 years.
Oh my God. Let's hope not. Let's hope not, brother.
But
So,
the world needs to
yeah.
see stuff
I
like
have,
that.
man. You know what I'm thinking as I'm hearing all these, and I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard this. There's a book. There's a book in you.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's been brought up. I know, right?
Yeah.
I could talk a lot about McHugh and Cantor, and yeah, I mean, because they both were it's interesting. Like with Eddie Cantor, you know, he was one of the few stars. You know, I would talk about this with your dad, Carl, too.
Yeah.
He was one of the few stars who conquered every medium. Eddie Cantor was a star on the stage. He did Broadway, movies, television, records, radio,
Yeah.
and he was also a big humanitarian. Eddie Cantor coined the phrase and founded the March of Dimes,
Yes.
I
Oh
know
my
that.
God.
I know that.
I do know that,
which
but I
ended
forgot.
up curing polio. He started a campaign on his radio show, and he asked each and every American to send in one dime to fight this disease, polio, and he called it the March of Dimes.
Oh my God.
This is mind blowing, man.
It is mind-blowingly.
Amazing,
It's a-
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it's definitely, yeah. I'm thinking, man, this guy's got a book, man, and your stories and everything,
Yeah.
the whole person.
Yeah, even like coming of age back then and all that too.
Write us a book, man.
Yeah. Hey. What? Oh my God. Hey Lee.
Book, dude.
What about the '60s songbook? This is we.
Oh yeah, so that's what happened. So okay, so I'm running Jimmy McHugh music and songs and compilations, and basically people are still recording his songs, including Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Shoot, that's a biggie.
Rod Stewart did these very, very successful albums of standards.
Sir.
Yeah, yes.
And he did a couple of our songs. He did I'm in the Mood for Love, and he did On the Sunny Side of the Street.
Man.
Well, I got a call one day and from someone who said, listen, Rod's recording your song I'm in the Mood for Love in the studio. Do you want to come to the session? I said, you bet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I go down there and meet the producers, and the producers are Richard Perry, legendary, who produced the Harry Nilsson albums, Nilsson Schmielson.
Oh my gosh, man! Come
He
on.
produced. This is how far Richard Perry goes back. Well, not that he goes back too far. It's just the diversity.
Right.
Richard Perry produced Tiny Tim's "Tiptoe Through the Tulips."
Damn.
He
Amazing.
produced Barbra Streisand's Stony End album.
Wow.
He produced Ringo Starr's solo albums, which had like 5 or 6 top 10 hits,
Oh yeah, he was that was
including You're 16, You're Beautiful in Your Mind, the No No song,
yes.
Photograph. Richard Perry produced Leo Sayers' You Make Me Feel Like Dancing.
Oh wow,
Dude, you know.
Richard produced Carly Simon's You're So Vain,
Holy crap, man.
and Nobody Does It Better.
Wow.
huge.
He
James
went on
Bond.
to produce the Pointer Sisters.
Okay. I kinda
Anyway,
see what-
Richard Perry is like one of the great pop singers or pop producers in the history of the music business. So he's producing the album of Rod Stewart standards with another producer named Lauren Wild.
yeah.
I was playing Whisky a Go-Go at that time, or had a gig coming up, and I told Lauren, I said, why don't you come to the show? Come see me at the Whisky a Go-Go. He came to see me, and we got together, and he said, yeah, we could do something together, meaning he would produce. And I said, I would love that. So one magical night on the Sunset Strip at Sunset Plaza, you know those restaurants there in and around Sunset Plaza?
I do.
It was like June. It was a summer night and warm, and there's about 8 of us, there's about 8 of us at a table, or 10 of us, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, and everybody's having a couple of drinks, and a guy's walking by on Sunset with a guitar, and spontaneously I just looked at the guitar and looked at the guy, and I said, "Can I have your guitar for 5 minutes?" And I gave him like $10-20.
Yeah.
And then I said to my table, I said, "Let's do a song. Let's do a sing-along. Let's do Happy Together." So I got them to start singing Happy Together, and then it was like a scene out of a movie.
Oh my gosh.
We're all singing Happy Together. The restaurant, the people at the other tables are singing Happy Together.
Yeah.
The bus boys, everybody's singing. And the producer was there, Lorne Wild. He turned to me, he says, "I know what kind of album we're going to make." And that was the birth of the 60 Songbook.
Perfect. That's perfect. Man, I wish I was there.
It's wonderful. I had the opportunity to listen to it. Thank you so much.
Oh,
for that.
thank you.
Yep.
So,
Very
so
good.
then, a friend of mine, May Pang.
Yes.
Okay, so May Pang, who was involved with John Lennon,
Yes,
and
sir.
worked for Yoko and John.
Mm-hmm.
We brought May on as an associate producer on the album.
Oh yeah.
So she was very helpful with song suggestions and all that. She came to the studio one day with a demo, and it was of John Lennon singing "Help" as a ballad.
Come on.
Yes, I heard it. That's
and
it.
she said you should do this. You should do "Help" the way he wanted to do it.
You did a great job. That's it.
He never got to do it, and so we played it in the studio. And the guys, I mean, I have to say, the musicians on the album are top notch.
Yeah.
On my 60 Songbook album, I mean, you can look them up and see who they all are. But anyway, after listening to John's ballad of "Help" done as a ballad, very slow,
Yeah.
Yes.
they came up with that arrangement, and then we did it.
Yes, I love it. May I say,
Yeah.
I love that you guys segued into "Hey Jude." at the
Wait.
end.
You know what's funny? I've been playing "Help" just around the house lately, man. That's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, Raj, what were you going to say?
No, I'm saying I love the way you got.
Yeah, I like the way you
segued.
did it, Lee.
You segued into.
Thanks. Yeah. So that's how that happened. So Lauren produced it, and he basically put together a team of musicians who, most of these guys also too were playing on this Rod Stewart album.
God.
And Lauren at that time with Richard Perry, they were not only doing Rod Stewart. I mean, they were just so busy. This is like in 2002 to 2007, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They were producing Rod Stewart and Carly Simon and Art Garfunkel and Engelbert Humperdinck, and just had a lot going on.
Dance cards.
So I was fortunate to get these top-notch musicians on the album.
Damn, man,
And
that's
then
great.
and then everything changed. I got to tell you though, I got to be honest with you, things changed. I don't remember the exact year, but with the music business, Tower Records closed on Sunset.
Yes.
Mhm. Unbelievable.
I hated that.
And I'm going to say that was around 2007, 2008.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. Tower Records closed, and what really hurt the music business was something called Napster.
I had a
Golly.
feeling that was coming. That was a little bit before, but that
and
was a writing on the wall.
People still can get music from their phones, and in a lot of instances, they can get it for nothing. There are ways to do it.
Honestly.
And that's what really hurt the record business, including, I'm not going to say just like Jimmy McHugh and his catalog, but everybody, because we were on records all over the world.
Yes.
So if you're getting, let's say, 6 cents for every song of yours that is on a CD that is sold, that adds up.
No kidding, man.
All over the world. I mean, we were on hundreds and hundreds of albums, right? So that has diminished. That's gone to almost like nothing.
No, it's kind of hobbled the whole industry, man.
Totally.
Yep.
So now it's a whole streaming thing,
Yep.
which they still haven't totally figured out, I don't think, where they can do like a million streams or whatever, and then you get $30.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be
Right.
fixed.
Right.
It's really different. So that's why now it's about licensing songs in movies, songs in television shows.
Hell yeah.
Selling those, playing live. And selling those $50 T-shirts.
Merch.
You know what, man?
The good old merch.
Adapt. You know, we got it's just it's changed.
That being
it's totally
said,
changed.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny though, ironic, is that if you drive down Sunset today, Tower Records is closed.
Yeah.
But they left all the signage up.
Oh, did they?
That's great. That's
Thank
great.
God. Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
cool.
Still,
And we know the Dome is gone.
the Dome's still there, but they did shut down. They're looking for a buyer.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
They can't tear it down because it's a landmark.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But someone explained to me, though, which I kind of get, but hopefully that won't happen. They can't tear it down, and they can't do anything to it, but a buyer could come along and turn it into a clothing store.
Oh yeah, that's odd. That's odd, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
weird,
protected.
right?
It's a protected structure. I have to say, if you only hear me, Chris has had to go to the bathroom real quick. But, we could keep going, Lee. That's awesome. But just for everyone to know, that being said about the state of the industry, where is the best place to find your music?
Oh, well, probably Amazon.
Yes.
iTunes. We've got one record store in LA that just reopened recently called Amoeba.
Amoeba Music, yes.
Yeah, we've got Amoeba, and but yeah, it's so different, guys. It's so different. It's just I mean, things have changed, but I'm positive things are starting to open up. How about where you are?
Myrtle Beach was never really quite closed, although people, it's a tourist destination. So it's really, someone said it's about the population here is 30, used to be 40,000 people, but in the summer, millions of people come. Okay. So it finally opened up a bit. To be frank with you.
Things are starting to open up here in LA.
Finally, you guys finally. But I can understand.
In fact, they're saying June 15th that everything's going to be like lifted and no masks and Dodger Stadium. You can go to Dodger Stadium right now. It holds, I think, 50,000, 55,000. Right now, I think they're only allowing 15,000. Okay. But come June, I think that's going to go up quite a bit. And Angel Stadium out here, they're going to go do 100% capacity.
Well, just like that, huh?
Just like that, yeah. So it's so bizarre because, especially here in California, it really affected a lot of people and businesses that are gone. They're just not coming back.
No, totally. Everywhere, man. Here, too. But
there's a restaurant on Franklin that Pascal used to laugh about called La Poubelle.
Oh, yeah.
And I just stumbled on some story a little while ago about how COVID has impacted that.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think it means the trash can or something like that. But that lady was struggling.
And you know what just opened up? You want to know what's ironic? You know what just opened up, I believe, yesterday?
No.
Reopened? The Magic Castle.
Oh.
Yeah, the Magic Castle reopened, yes.
No kidding.
Yes, brother.
Man, the hotels definitely had a transformation. They were closed for a year.
Yeah,
the hotel is definitely changed. So many great memories at that hotel and by the pool and all those showbiz folks. I'll never forget when your dad or Uncle Raj introduced me to Robert Morse.
Oh yeah. He lived there on and off for years, man.
Yeah. He'd be like cooking or barbecuing and out by the pool. And
so approachable, man.
You'd have all those companies from all those touring companies from all those shows playing at the Pantages.
Hell yeah. My dad used to throw the little soirees for everybody.
That's right. And then your dad had, or it was in your house where you guys lived, but like all these framed Broadway posters.
Yes.
Pantages posters and
all those lobby cards. Yeah, lobby cards, man. Yeah.
Well, that theater, the Pantages, they're opening. I believe they're opening in August with Hamilton.
It's about. That's very good,
man.
That's very good.
So things are starting to. We're starting to see some normalcy, but it's definitely had an impact on everybody.
No doubt. I mean, it's definitely changed the way things are done, and it'll never be the same.
I know. I mean, it's just different. I mean, and I think we can do this, and we can function and do the social distancing when you have to.
Right. Amen.
And I do. I mean, I am one of the believers of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went and I got
Me
it.
too.
Me
you
too.
know.
Me too.
There's some people I know who are hesitant, but vaccines have been around forever. You know.
Yeah. I mean, in some way, I understand the wait and see thing,
Yeah,
but I mean,
circle
we
back
did
to
it.
polio.
Yeah, we did it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But I mean, and also, didn't we get vaccines for measles or chicken pox?
Yeah,
and stuff
chicken
like
pox,
that?
measles, mumps, rubella, MMR. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll rise from the ashes, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm
I'm
really
excited about what's happening with you, brother.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, thanks. Well, it's so great talking to you guys, man. It's just like, wow, it's been so long, but you guys sound fantastic,
Yeah,
and
you
you're
too.
doing your music, and you're performing live,
Yes, sir.
and it just sounds like you're living in a great place.
It's good.
Lee,
Although I will
Lee,
say,
you
I miss
sound exactly the same.
you. I miss all our friends. I miss
you.
Hollywood.
But we never stopped
Well,
talking
if you ever
about it.
want to come out, I mean, I've got space here. I mean, I'm living in an area. First of all, let me just tell you this. We still have the Hollywood house.
oh
Wow.
yeah.
My stepmom Leah is still
Yes.
living in the house.
Oh okay.
God bless
Cool,
her.
cool.
Say hello.
Yeah, she's 87
Oh.
and she's living in the house. I check on her every day.
Very good.
I go over there. I do a sleep over there once a week with Heston, my son.
Yes.
Oh, nice, man.
And how old is he now?
We sleep in my room upstairs, which hasn't changed.
Really?
Oh, I remember that.
It
Right.
looks exactly the same. They
I love
never
that room.
changed it, so it's got like lunch boxes and pennants and
Yes. You still have your little stereo in there?
yeah, still got the stereo and.
We spent some
But
time
yeah,
around it.
so anyway, we're living in a house in near Studio City,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I forgot what my point was. Oh yeah, so if you ever come out, you're welcome to stay here. I've got the room.
Ah, that's very
Thank
kind,
you, brother.
I appreciate
Likewise.
that.
Likewise.
Yeah, likewise. You want to
and,
come visit us? We'll do it
I'd
too.
love to meet Christina and Heston. It's a
Yeah, we'll put that together. I mean, that we can do that with like a FaceTime thing.
that'd be cool.
Christina's great. She's we met. She was my producer. Lauren was producing an album, Engelbert Humperdinck, and she was a background singer on that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's when we met, and we've been married now for 11 years.
That's
And then we have a
great.
son, Heston, and Heston's going to be 9 in October.
he's
Oh,
a
great.
beautiful,
Yeah, he
beautiful
is.
boy.
Yep.
And I know I waited a bit on the marriage and having a child.
Hey, when it's right, it's right. You know.
But yeah, right. When it's right, it's right. But
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just great to hear you guys and just so many memories and the people and
Yes.
it was a great time. It was a great period for us.
It really was,
and
man.
it is a great conversation we had.
I
Hopefully,
cherish your friendship,
Yeah, I
brother,
do
even
too,
though we
Lee.
haven't been in touch.
Hopefully, we'll do this again.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you and lots of love. And let's definitely stay in touch. Even just a quick hello.
Absolutely,
Yes, sir.
brother. We love you very
Love
much,
you,
man.
Lee.
All right. Love you guys.
love
We'll
you.
talk soon.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
Bye-bye.